Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got our daily NBA predictions for Tuesday, February 25th. And hey, today's the day. Hey, Luka Doncic gets a chance to play the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, I would not want to be on the Mavs tonight. Oh man. It's the final game of the slate today, so we'll get to that at the end of the video. Oh man. Am I excited? Am I excited tonight? Oh man. The Lakers are winning the championship. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, folks, before we get into the predictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our college basketball best bets as well, so make sure to check that video out in the description down below. And also make sure to go check out our UFC Fight Night Cop versus Almabayev predictions, that from the UFC Apex on Saturday. So make sure to check that video out. Link in the description down below, because it is our final MMA video here on this channel, because we're going to Greedo Plays MMA. All UFC, PFL, Global Fight League content is going to Greedo Plays MMA starting March 2nd with UFC 313 predictions, Pereira versus Ankalaev. All right, let's move on now to our NBA predictions, starting things off up in Canada for the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors. If you recall, earlier on in the season, this was the game that the Celtics won almost by 70 points. They did play in Boston in that one, but the Celtics have fared fairly well against Toronto. Now, they did lose to Toronto on the road on January 15th, but that's when the Raptors were somehow piling together wins. They were going on a little bit of a run. There was somewhat of talks about them potentially making a run to the play-in. Now, don't get me started on the Eastern Conference play-in. The Chicago Bulls might get a chance because the Nets lost to the Wizards yesterday, and the Bulls beat the Sixers. So, great. We get to watch Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball in the play-in. Honestly, I'm fine with that. Anyways, the Raptors are what? I mean, they're a good 5 games out of the play-in currently. Boston, they're not playing badly like they were when they ran into Toronto the first time, or in their first loss to them this year, right? I mean, at the time, they were coming off a loss at home against Sacramento. They had a home game against the Pelicans, barely won that one, and they went up to Toronto and lost the game by 13 points, okay? Now, this team going into this one is on a 5-game winning streak. Huge win in Boston, in Miami, beat the Spurs at home. They go to Philly and win, and they're coming off another huge win, winning by 13 points against the New York Knicks, who are kind of struggling right now. Everything kind of points to a Celtics victory in this one, and a Celtics domination of the Toronto Raptors. Grady Dick will likely play. He's dealing with a thigh injury, but it looks like Dick is good to go for this game. Make sure I got my wording right on that one. And Jakob Poeltl is questionable. We'll see again if the Raptors center is able to give it a go. If not, again, it's Jonathan Mobo and Orlando Robinson and potentially Chris Boucher, figuring out that center position, obviously with Kelly Olynyk now being on the New Orleans Pelicans, and Kelly Olynyk starting right now for the New Orleans Pelicans. But somehow they beat the Spurs. And they're playing again tonight, so we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm taking Boston, though, complete domination spot here. It's in Toronto, don't care. The Raptors don't have, they went on their little run where they were winning a lot at home. That's over now. Give me Boston to go to Toronto and take care of business up in Canada. We go on to our second game of the video, and we go to Orlando, Florida for a matchup between the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers, a rematch of the first round last year of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Obviously, that was the 4-5 matchup, ended up being won by the Cavaliers. If you recall in that series, again, the home team won every single game in that one. That's how it went. 7, Cleveland obviously winning all the games that were being played in Ohio, and they won the series 4-3. So again, the Magic were able to see a lot of success last season playing in Florida against this Cavaliers team. The thing is, again, the Cavs have taken that next step this season. I thought originally, again, Orlando was going to make that next step, not to the same extent, obviously, that Cleveland has made this year, being 47-10 going into this game. But I thought, again, Orlando was going to be able to really improve off last season. And again, things have not gone their way this year in terms of injuries. It's not their fault. But Cleveland's gotten much better since last season, since their playoff matchup that, again, was won by Cleveland. And Orlando, again, has just struggled this year dealing with injuries. I expect the Cavaliers to dominate this basketball game. Again, one of the better defensive teams in all of the league, if not the best defensive team in the Orlando Magic, taking on one of the best offensive teams in the Cavaliers. But in a matchup like this specifically, I do like Cleveland. Orlando, for, they have kind of gotten it back on the right track coming out the All-Star break. They beat the Atlanta Hawks on the road. They play a very competitive game in Orlando where they lose by 1 point to the Memphis Grizzlies. And then they went out and beat the Wizards by 20 points, who somehow Washington wins on a second half of a back-to-back. Don't get it. Anyways, though, Orlando, has been better. Franz Wagner, obviously, and Banchero fully healthy now. We'll see if Jalen Suggs plays or not. The Magic's point guard has been injured. He's actually already out for this game, so no Jalen Suggs. But again, you still get Wagner and Banchero. But I do like Cleveland in this spot still. The Cavaliers are just the all-around better team. Yes, Orlando plays phenomenal defense, but it's hard to beat this Cavs squad. Maybe the only team in the entire league that plays better defense than Orlando is potentially OKC. But even Cleveland was able to beat OKC this season. I get it, they split, but the Cavaliers are going to just that dangerous offensively. They've got 3 All-Stars in their starting lineup with Garland and Mitchell and Mobley, and the other 2 starters, again, can kill you as well in Max Strus and Jared Allen. Now, Darius Garland is questionable for this game with a hip injury. I don't know if he's going to play. I'd expect Garland, though, to give it a go, especially with his activity last night on social media talking about how he was, kind of clowning on the guy who there's a fan in Cleveland who hit the $50,000 half-court shot, and he was doing the LeBron silencer before, and Garland was in the background looking at him like, what the hell's this guy doing? Anyways, Garland's been very active on Twitter last night. I assume he's playing. Donovan Mitchell, though, again, has been playing like one of the best players in the NBA, and I think the Cavaliers go to Orlando and just dominate this one. Give me Cleveland to run away from the Magic. They've been the better team all season long. Got that one right. And I'm taking the Cavaliers to win and cover here against the Magic, -6.5. We move on to our third game of the video, and we go to Houston, Texas, as we have got the number 5 seed now in the Western Conference in the Houston Rockets taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Unfortunately for the Rockets, everything that I was calling to happen in January, December has now happened in late February. Again, as soon as I came around on the Rockets, they just started to disappoint. I thought this regression for Houston was eventually going to come, and here it is. The Rockets at one point were the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. They're now the number 5 seed. They are 35-22, and I don't think they're going to ever jump the Lakers, nor do I think they'll jump the Nuggets, potentially Memphis. But again, it does feel like the Rockets' place right now is kind of 5 or below in the Western Conference. And that was apparent in their last loss on the road in Salt Lake City to the Utah Jazz. They lost that game by 9 to Utah. What? Just can't happen. If we're taking you as a serious playoff threat, that can't happen. I know what you're thinking. Oh, the Lakers lost to Utah. All right, it's different. Okay, guys, the Lakers are held to a different standard, okay? It's everyone's Game 7 against the Los Angeles Lakers, all right? It's nobody's Game 7 against the Houston Rockets, all right? That's why teams like Houston can fly under the radar, because no one's paying attention to them. And, we'll realize at the end of the season, for the casual fan, obviously, you'll realize at the end of the season, oh, Houston's, 5. Houston's going to be the 4 seed, okay? Everyone knows who the Lakers are at all points in the year, okay? The Lakers, for as bad as it sounds, the Lakers can lose to the Jazz. The Rockets, no, you're at a different standard. You can't lose to the Jazz, all right? But anyways, all around the Lakers have been playing way better ball than Houston. Obviously, don't forget again about what happened to the Rockets prior to the All-Star break. That 6-game losing streak, yikes. Yeah, they got it back on the right track by beating Toronto and Phoenix, but that's the Raptors and the Suns. I think the Bucks, again, we'll see if Giannis plays. Obviously, if Giannis plays, or Giannis is probable, yeah, we're good. Okay, when Giannis is on the court, the Bucks are a different team, obviously. And again, I've been saying it recently, and I do believe it. I think the Bucks are finally finding their footing officially. Again, the roster, of course, it is what it is now, but at least, again, they know who's going to be on this playoff roster. Middleton, obviously, is a Wizard now, and you get Kyle Kuzma on the squad. But the Bucks are now starting to figure out what their rotation is going to look like come the postseason, obviously, right? 3 straight wins coming out the All-Star break in 4 days. They beat the Clippers, they beat the Wizards, and then they beat the Magic. Not the Magic, they beat the Heat, wrong Florida team. They're going to Houston. It's a tough matchup, but I think the Rockets get it. Yeah, or the Bucks get it. My goodness, that was bad. I think the Bucks get it. Who's guarding Giannis? Dylan Brooks? Jabari Smith? Dylan Brooks, I believe, is injured. Is he going to play this game? He is questionable with an illness. Van Vliet is questionable. But again, I just don't know. I mean, I think where the Bucks are able to exploit the Rockets most is with the best matchups that they have on the court. Giannis versus either Jabari Smith or Dylan Brooks. Maybe they'll put Amen Thompson on him, sure. But then Dame and Van Vliet or Dame and Cam Whitmore? they're matchups that just do favor Milwaukee. I think the Bucks definitely win this basketball game. I get it, it's on the road, but I love the plus money spot here for Milwaukee. Again, the Bucks on a big winning streak right now. They feel like they're getting better and better, and Giannis is playing this game. So plus 4.5, plus 155 for the Greek Freak and Damian Lillard going on the road to Texas to take down the Houston Rockets. We go on to our fourth game of the video, and we go to Memphis, Tennessee for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are just an embarrassment, all right, guys? They're just an embarrassment. You know, I thought in their last game, they're coming off a win over the Bulls. I get it's the second half of a back-to-back. Don't care. Go to Toronto. Take care of business. Start catching the Kings for that 10 spot, obviously, in the Western Conference. Well, what do? They go to Toronto and lose. They were they blew so many opportunities in that game. They made a couple fake comebacks, and they just let Toronto keep on obviously pulling away from them. They don't play defense. They let the Raptors score 127 points on them. Again, we can talk about this all we want, about their offense. They're great. They can shoot. They can score. Booker. Obviously, KD. Bradley Beal can kind of score when you need him to as well. They're a good offensive team. They have zero defense. They don't play defense. This is a team that is coming into this game losing 6 out their last 7. If we want to expand on that, they've lost 9 out of their last 11 basketball games. That's not going to cut it. They were once 25-22. They're now 27-30. I still think they're going to outplay the Kings down the stretch, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe Sacramento does get that 10 spot. I would much rather watch the Suns get a shot to play it in the playoffs, obviously, because I want to watch Kevin Durant in a big-time basketball game. But the Suns aren't doing themselves any favors. And against the problem we keep saying with Phoenix, they've already basically said they're blowing this up in the offseason. KD's gone after this year. So it's just like, what are we doing? The Grizz are the better basketball team. It's not even close. I get it, the Grizzlies are 1-2 since the All-Star break, but they played good teams, right? Indiana on the road, that's a great team. Orlando on the road, they beat them by 1. And they lose to Cleveland on the road. All right, that's fine. Memphis actually does play really hard. They play great defense. They're tough to score on at times, but they will outpace you as well with their shooting and with the all-around play of guys like Jaren Jackson, their all-star, like Ja Morant, the potential rookie of the year now in Jalen Wells. This is a very good basketball team. Again, are they built for the playoffs? We'll see. But in this spot, 100%. Memphis at home at the FedEx Forum. Give me the Grizzlies to win this game against the Phoenix Suns and cover the 8.5 points as well. We move on to our next game here. It's our 5th game of the video, and boy, am I really excited to talk about this one. The New Orleans Pelicans and the San Antonio Spurs. All right, so usually, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I watch every Los Angeles Lakers game from start to finish, right? That's just what I do. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan. I watch every Lakers game, right? I will try to watch as many games as possible. Obviously, I'm watching a lot of college basketball as well, but there are certain NBA games, again, that I'll watch from start to finish. If not, I try my hardest, and I usually do watch highlights of every single basketball game. And if I need to, again, watch more specifics, then I'll watch the actual game on League Pass, right? I'll watch it after the point, obviously. But I do, again, at the very least, I watch highlights of every single basketball game. Spurs-Pelicans, I watch from start to finish. It was just one of those games. I did have quite a bit of money in the Spurs, so I'm watching the entire basketball game. The Spurs are winning that game for 3.5 quarters. 3 quarters. They went like 3 for 20-something from the field in the 4th quarter. They went ice cold. De'Aaron Fox didn't have an impact basically the entire basketball game. They were feeding Bismack Biyombo for most of the game, and it was working for San Antonio. Devin Vassell was horrible. Guys, San Antonio, no, they need to shut down De'Aaron Fox. And again, I'm not going to go out here and say, oh, De'Aaron's horrible, right? I mean, again, this is a Spurs team, by the way, that got outscored by 22 points in the 4th quarter. It was 17-39 in the 4th, but 10 of those points came in the final 2 minutes. So they were really getting outscored like 7-35 in that 4th quarter. Absolutely ridiculous. Stephon Castle, by the way, had a horrible night as well. I like Stephon Castle. He went 1 for 10 shooting in that game. CP3, 1 for 10. They missed like 20-something straight threes in that game. Ridiculous. They need to shut down De'Aaron Fox. I'm not going to come out here and slander De'Aaron, but he's obviously playing injured. This team has no business being close to the play-in. Obviously, again, we're seeing Phoenix struggle so much. Well, the Suns are 2 games up with the Spurs. They're not passing both Phoenix and a team like Sacramento. It's just not happening. okay? Or even, hell, I don't want to say it, the Mavericks guys might fall out. With all their injuries, the Mavs might be the team to fall out, and the Suns might replace them. I don't know. We'll get to the Mavs at the end of the video, obviously. I'm still taking the Spurs, though. I refuse to believe the Pelicans beat them twice in a row. I really do. Yeah, Zion was good in that last game, but it's like, I know De'Aaron's hurt, but can De'Aaron really play that bad at back-to-back games? And the same thing I'll say about Stephon Castle. I'll say the same thing about Devin Vassell, even CP3. Can all these guys play that poorly in back-to-back games? Kelly Olynyk's not going off like he did in that last game again. They had Karlo Maktovic scored 19 points. Like, I just don't think that happens in back-to-back spots. I'd stay away. I'd so stay away from this game. The Pels are playing for nothing, and the Spurs, let's be honest, they're about to start playing capture the flag, okay? No, I'd completely stay away from this game. The official pick is Spurs plus 120. Next up, we move on to a matchup here in San Francisco, California. The Golden State Warriors take on the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, the Warriors are winning games. Good for them. I'm actually happy for Steph and Jimmy and all those guys. I'm happy for that team. I really am, that they're finally winning basketball games. That's great. They're going to keep beating these kind of poor teams, and, there's going to be hype around the Warriors. Guys, I'm not too high on the Magic right now. Just wait till they go to Orlando on Thursday. Just wait. They're going to get shut down. They're going to lose that game. But then they're going to go to Philadelphia and win. Whatever. The Warriors are not a serious threat. They'll get in the playoffs and we'll see. But anyways, this spot against the Hornets, they're going to blow this Hornets team out. Guys, Mark Williams, I don't think's played a game since that Lakers game. I'm not joking when I'm telling you, these teams, they play their Super Bowls against the Lakers. It's ridiculous. Mark Williams isn't even playing against the Warriors. Oh, no, he didn't play the Kings game. Maybe he's going to play against the Warriors. It's just like, I get so annoyed, man. LaMelo Ball has scored like 5 points a game since the Lakers game. He scored 5 against the Blazers, 13 against the Kings. This team has lost by a combined 80 points in their last 2 games. Like, what? They're going to go to Golden State and get killed. Second half of a back-to-back, they went to Sacramento, got destroyed 130-88. We told you that was going to happen yesterday. It's so typical. I'm so used to this. A team beats the Lakers, and then after that, they just forget that they have games to play, and they get blown out in every other game that they play. That's what always happens when a piss-poor team beats the Los Angeles Lakers. It sucks. Anyways, the Warriors will kill this team. They will. Curry's going to drop 30. Jimmy's going to have his best game scoring as a Golden State Warrior. They're honoring, I think, the 2015 team tonight in San Francisco. They are going to demolish the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets, again, I don't even know who's going to play. Mark Williams, we'll see. LaMelo Ball has been kind of injured. Don't be surprised if they shut down LaMelo soon. They've got nothing to play for. It's time for them to, try to capture the flag. Adam Silver's not rewarding them with Cooper flag. That was a big discussion on NBA Twitter yesterday. Miles Bridges, I'll give him credit. Miles Bridges, man, he was playing pretty well. He's a killer on the court sometimes. I don't know. The Warriors will win this game. They definitely will. Yeah, there's not much intrigue in this one, I'll be honest with you. Minus 1,800 Golden State. Oh, give me the Warriors. Minus 16.5. They better cover. If Sacramento's able to blow them out, the Warriors should do that same thing. Should do the same thing. They didn't play yesterday. Charlotte did. Give me the Warriors. To our final game of the video. Yeah, we've been waiting for this. The Los Angeles Lakers take on the Dallas Mavericks. Boy, am I excited for this one. Guys, I don't think I've ever been more... I think I haven't been this excited for Lakers basketball. And I said this earlier. I've said this earlier this season. But I've been this excited since, I don't know, 2021. It feels like the Lakers are officially back. And that Nuggets game makes it very clear Los Angeles is back. And they're a serious threat again. Luka looked like Luka again. And by the way, we've got to give JJ Redick all the credit in the world. I think Dan Hurley's a good coach, but I'm very happy Dan Hurley turned the Lakers down. The Lakers are trying to give him a bunch of money, and Dan Hurley said, "No, I'm gonna try to win a 3rd title." All right, dude, have fun being a 9 seed in the NCAA tournament this year. Have fun. All right. JJ Redick put on a complete coaching masterclass in Denver the other night. Luka Doncic again is Luka again. 32, 10, and 7. That's what we've been waiting for. The Lakers now get the Mavs at home, and Luka gets to play his former team. AD's not playing, he's hurt, obviously. Nico Harrison is definitely in the building. He was in the building when the Mavericks played the Warriors the other night. Rob Pelinka was in the building as well. But this is just going to be hilarious. The Mavs are coming off a blowout loss on Sunday, 126-102 in San Francisco to the Warriors. And guys, this is a game where Luka's going to throw at least 5 lobs to Jackson Hayes. I don't know what Jackson Hayes' line is tomorrow night. Take the over. Take it. Because regardless of who's playing center tomorrow for the Mavs, and again, Jackson Hayes has actually been playing much better because of obviously the AD trade. Jackson Hayes will dominate. Guys, Jackson Hayes is either going to be matched up against PJ Washington, Kessler Edwards, or maybe a Moses Brown. But Moses Brown's so deep into the Mavs rotation, like maybe we'll see him. I don't care. Jackson Hayes is much better than Moses Brown. Likely will be PJ Washington in the starting lineup. Jackson Hayes will obliterate him, and especially with the lobs. Because you know Luka's going to throw at least 10 lobs on the Mavs' head tomorrow. If Luka's not scoring, he's throwing lobs to Jackson Hayes, potentially LeBron in this game as well. I mean, again, guys, Luka's going to feast. Luka's been waiting for this matchup ever since he got traded. This is going to be absolutely hilarious. Sure, Kyrie's going to try his thing, but the Mavs are just going to be outclassed in this basketball game. The game's on national television. It's on TNT, if I'm not mistaken, or it's on ESPN. It's on TNT, I think. It's the game of the night, obviously. And, you know, we'll see when Luka returns to Dallas, because that will be hilarious as well, because he's going to get cheered in Dallas, obviously. They go to Dallas. It's on ESPN April 9th, late in the year. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But first, Luka gets a chance to play this team at his new home in Los Angeles, and the Lakers will dominate this basketball game. But yes, I really do like Jackson Hayes a lot in this game. Obviously, Luka is going to score a lot, but I think an underrated part in this game, yes, is going to be the impact that Jackson Hayes is going to have. I'm very happy that Rui Hachimura seems to be not really injured. I think he's fully cleared for this game. Yes, he got injured at the end of the Nuggets game, actually came back into that game in the fourth quarter. I'm glad Rui is fine. LeBron is on the injury report, but, you know, the King is probable. He's going to be okay. This team seems so built to win this year, man. It just, I'm so excited. And all my excitement's gonna go out the window when this team loses to like the Jazz again. I don't think they play the Jazz again this year, but like when they lose the Pelicans probably or something, it's just all my joy's gonna go away. But for now, man, Mavs, Timberwolves, Clippers. Let's start winning, man. I'm so pumped. Lakers are gonna get the 2 seed. Everything's gonna be great. And we get to watch maybe one of the best playoff series in a long time, Lakers Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, before we get a Lakers-Pacers final. No, I'm kidding. Lakers-Celtics probably. Anyways, give me the Lakers to dominate the Mavs. You know Dallas don't stand a damn chance tonight. Luka over, Jackson Hayes over, Lakers -8.5, Lakers in 5. Give me Los Angeles to win and cover. And folks, that will do it for our NBA predictions here on February 25th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.